Who will make a new history or who will keep their championship title under their belt? Give it up to the World Esports Championship 2025 Grand Final Women, Indonesia versus Cambodia!
A return to history from 2024, where both these teams have met up once before. Who will be able to take game number 1 this time around? And thank you very much to our marshals for their hard work, making sure that we are able to jump into the land of Dawn here. So, as we've already pointed out, mid lane is going to be important here because Team Indonesia has the natural advantage with the Kimi Kalea. Cambodia needs to play safe around this, but also ensure that they're not going to be able to easily rotate and affect the other side lanes.
Let's see. So far right now, they are doing some of the rotation to invade all of the rotation that was done. And even I feel like there is some sort of the rotation-wise coming from Team Indonesia to move around and setting things up for the turtle pit. So this is where the fine line that I feel like Team Indonesia, they're just trying to play it a little bit faster compared to Cambodia.
The Sun versus Granger matchup is going to be an interesting one. Sun is a fighter and he will naturally have a little bit more bulk and damage early on in comparison, which means that if Shell wants to go for a dive, Baobei will need to be careful. But Granger is also one of the Hold On.
Hold On comes in, ooh, able to actually pull through with the pulse. But at the same time, Team Cambodia, a little bit ambitious right there.
Now back to what I was saying, Granger is one of the few marksman heroes that actually clears Sun clones very quickly. So if Baobei plays this safe and keeps getting those, then that's actually a lot of extra farm going to the goal lane of Cambodia.
Yeah, definitely gonna close out with his right traction. Pulse comes through, able to take down the turtle first of all from Cambodia. But at the same time, Trace comes in. Moshi takes down Vival for the first blood. But at the same time, double kill in the hands of Moshi with Fumieko shut down.
Strong opening there from Team Cambodia, and that's exactly what I was talking about before as well. Around the timing of the first to second turtle, Team Cambodia has the advantage because of the way their composition works, especially Tegami on this Fredrin, who was able to just stand in front and absorb all the damage to secure the retribution timing and then punish Vival for trying to go for that front line instead. The Team Cambodia already drawing first blood and even picking up a second for a comfortable 1k goal lead against Team Indonesia.
Seems like Moshi trying so hard to make sure that he can be able to actually push a little bit of Fumieko. But here's the thing, Fumieko also doesn't have to worry that much, still have a lot of sustained ability in the hands. So this is just still a very, very poor fight between those two. The question is, right now, with 50 seconds on the clock for the second turtle, Team Indonesia, can they actually revamp themselves from the mistake they made? Here coming along, Tegami pushing on to Cine.
Like they're not going to try and force that out. Fumieko also actually having a bit of a difficult time against Moshi. Those two initial kills both went to the Lapu Lapu, so that means the Moshi is going to have a slight EXP lead against the Esmeralda in lane. And that does make quite a big difference here. It allows her to trade a lot more easily.
I think pretty much I thought that Indonesia was going to actually punish or even try to pressure Team Cambodia, but somehow Cambodia looking even more aggressive earlier on. And I think because of the fact that they have that ability or even the advantage of their damage from the early games, and that's why they're just taking advantage of it. But here on out, Team Indonesia is going to get some place for the top lane itself freely, while the team of Cambodia is quite setting up themselves at the turtle pit, and this is like a threat for themselves. They're not gonna contest it off, so a win for both sides of Indonesia as well as Cambodia. But here on out, Fumieko going to actually go in all out for a fight. Gonna able to survive those equations, but now comes in the team of Cambodia. Vival able to get that turret, but Fumieko is going to be sacrificed by Tegami. Dasha Pulse comes through, Moto Chakra is also pulled through, but unfortunately, Tsunami Slam tried to steal away by Vivian, but instead it doesn't have any follow-up, so it's gonna be a weak win for Cambodia.
Really smart idea from Team Indonesia to go for the split push. They're well aware that they cannot match up in the direct 5v5 right now, so they're not even gonna bother around the turtle. But they may have stayed a little bit too long. They should have backed off after taking the entire gold shield, because Team Cambodia was able to collapse in. And while they're not able to get the shield themselves, they might be able to threaten the tower.
Goes in for the dive right here. Wavebreaker comes through, just try to evade it out, but goes in the back line. Right there, immediately Vivian in trouble. AOG comes in, doesn't catch up, but Baobei shuts down Vivian.
Beautiful dive there from Moshi. This Lapu Lapu being an MVP for Cambodia right now, but looks like Shell is no slouch either, taking advantage of Cambodia showing up top to steal away the purple buff. Mlbb has swapped lanes as well. This means that the Sun is going to be able to catch up a bit in farm.
On the side of Team Cambodia, they do win most of the fight itself, and somehow Team Indonesia, they're taking their stacks back. They're trying to slow things down, find a way for them to win just those micro gaming, micro things that is crucial for their own.
Now, at this point in the game, we've already mentioned Team Cambodia is going to naturally have an advantage due to the nature of their draft. They've been able to build up a strong 2K lead. If they can continue building this snowball, and especially funneling kills into Mlbb, they should be able to quite cleanly end the game around the 16-minute mark. They cannot afford to allow it last too much longer than that, or lose out on this advantage from this point onwards, because Team Indonesia has a very strong scaling composition, and they have a lot of macro pressure as well, compared to Cambodia, which largely will need to stay together for fights.
And look at that. This is going to be the third turtle dance coming through. Team Indonesia, overlooking, not going to actually be able to contest it out, but now they're going to push it all the way to fight. Team Indonesia had to pull away. Does actually go stun for the side of the Fury of the Phoenix, but then it's still Team Cambodia to get that win.
Team Indonesia playing it slowly now. They're aware they can't directly fight, though it looks like Cambodia is still going to try and force them back.
They are going in for the diving composition. Doesn't get anyone though, but Team Indonesia is going to actually be pulled back so much by Team Cambodia. Goes in for the steal. Vivian doesn't make it alive. Mlbb takes it down, and even Cine could not do anything for that.
Really well done there. Tegami tanking the tower. Unfortunately, it looks like Bumieko going to be able to find Elan on the retreat. Now he's trying to join the fight.
Bumieko, straight pushing on, able to take down her for the trace, but as well, Vival, that's not going to be a good move. Mounted Shocker just to give a little bit of skirmish, but still going to be another win for Team Cambodia.
I'm really liking the positioning I'm seeing right now from Team Cambodia. Ue literally walking in front to use her body to block the damage onto her low health jungler, keeping Tegami alive and around, continue creating pressure. Team Cambodia have been doing it right so far. But the gold lead is still fairly narrow because Team Indonesia has shifted into farming mode. They are willing to sacrifice bodies in exchange for map space because they know that Team Cambodia has to stay largely together. 8 minutes in, First Lord is going to be coming up in a little while. The fight around this objective is going to be a crucial one for determining how the next couple minutes go.
Let's see, so far, Ue trying to actually catch Cine. They keep on pushing Indonesia's position, and this is where it's so aggressive to the side of Team Indonesia that Cambodia is controlling every movement so far. Even the clearing way for the midwise, yes, they did lose the level of #1, but yet Team Cambodia is doing well. Some of the invasive shots coming in from Shell will not be spotted out by Moshi whatsoever, but they are going in for 1v1. I'm not sure if that's going to be a good move. That's just going to be a little bit of poking from Indonesia.
A little bit of poking indeed. Shell is actually going to start becoming quite annoying as time goes on because she has been allowed to free farm several different parts of the map at this point. There is no level difference between her and Mlbb, who is currently 3-0 on this Ranger. So Team Cambodia, once they start taking this First Lord, is going to need to up the pressure. Whereas Team Indonesia wants to generally slow down the state of the game and keep scattering their opponents. They want to make them doubt their decision-making.
Let's see, Lord Dance is coming in, just a little bit of teasing from side of Cambodia. Vivian and Cine trying to find a way for them to set things up, even though we know Fumieko is going to join in just in time. This half lifeline that Viva right behind side. Vivian comes through. They will be able to steal. Mlbb takes down Vivian first of all with Trash and Pulse as well. Fumieko trying to survive it out. Will not be able to do so with double kill in the hands of Mlbb. This Lord will be in the hands of Team Cambodia. Gets it in the hands of Tegami. Cine doing all the best here. That will steal Moshi by Vival, but it's not going to be enough as this is already a win in the hands of Cambodia.
Definitely still a win so far, but Ue has to be careful. Oh, picks off Cine with the chase. So now he's probably going to end up dying to the sun here. Shell is going to be picking up her first kill of the game, and that gives her the Great Dragon Spear as well. I like the way Cambodia is positioning. They are specifically just grouping all together because they know that the sun can come from a flank. Shell actually did a very good job of identifying Mlbb in the midst of everything, but was just a little bit short of getting the kill on the Granger. And because of that, Cambodia still does come out on top from that trade. But the longer this game goes, the more difficult it is going to be for them. They can't allow this to last too much longer. But Shell is going to make it do exactly that. This is one of the strengths of the Sun. Lord? What Lord?
Exactly. This is what the fighter is all about. Definitely will be able to take it off. But Cine shuts down Iran immediately. Even with the wave breaker able to actually pass through. But is it going to be enough though? Team Cambodia. Mlbb takes down Cine, goes in for the double kill with Vival. Now one more. Vivian managed to break through with the wave breaker. But still, this is going to be a turret. Comes into the hands of Cambodia. And they had to back off because Cambodia is getting into it.
This is the time for Cambodia to just get as much damage on the map done as possible. Mlbb has hit a rolling hit right now on this Granger. 7-0. That is easily 5 Skypiercer stacks at least. And you can see how much damage it was doing to the squishier targets. Cambodia needs to continue doing this. Up the ante. Up 60 stacks right there. That is a lot of damage to worry about. And we know Indonesia is generally going to be fighting 4v5 because Shell is on a mission.
Shell is definitely trying to at least do a little bit of the split push, but again, it's not going to be enough though. All this solo fight that is done by her still have a lot of things that needs to be catch up because Team Cambodia, as one, they will be able to actually just trample one after another of Team Indonesia. So Team Indonesia needs to find a way how they want to actually control every single damage that was done by Mlbb itself. But coming in right now, Wavebreaker Vivian! Just a little bit slow, but she will be able to survive it out, only to be taken out by Mlbb. Yue comes in with Cine to be shut down. Oh no, Mlbb! Been caught out by Fumieko instead! And now Cambodia trying to do a little bit of damage, but Elon with Shell shutting her down immediately. This is a comeback comes through from Indonesia team!
They're gonna have to make up for their losses right there. They're gonna try and chase down Shell, but one of the annoying things about Sun is it's so difficult to catch. Shell escaping from 3 members all by her lonesome, and while this is happening, Indonesia is already spreading their influence to the other parts of the map. The moment that Mlbb went down once, Team Cambodia's entire lineup falls apart.
Oh, Team Indonesia finally get their feet on the ground, able to actually break that back line, and this is what is needed for them to return all of the fight that was done by Team Cambodia. Now, looking on the lot that is coming through already, this is where how they want to actually set things up first. Somehow, Team Cambodia doesn't spot out Shell in the midst of the grass though, so this could be a very, very scary situation if they don't realize it.
I think if that was any ordinary player, they would have 100% tried jumping on Mlbb, but instead Cambodia's jumping.
AOG comes in. Oh, Cine managed to back away, but at the same time here, Tegami try to pull in with the Vivian side, but it's going to be Mlbb to shut down Cine with that Death Sonata. But at the same time right here, it's going to be Shell. Shell spotted out, goes in for the wave breaker. Still away Mlbb right instant. Ripping out, shutting down Israel. And this is where the fine line at Cambodia falls, crumble in the hands of Indonesia. Bushi immediately double kill in the hands of Shell with the side of Tegami as well as Uwe committing every single move, leaving only one player. Can they actually go for the team wipeout? It seems that Tegami doesn't want to actually contest, but no! Tegami comes back for the double kill!
Tegami with the slam right in the face of Team Indonesia, holding it together for Team Cambodia. Regardless of the flashiness of that play though, this is now a disaster for their side. Mlbb has fallen again, they weren't able to defend her, and Tegami's not going to be able to walk off to contest his Lord.
Let's see, can they actually do it though? Somehow, it's not going to be easy, but Vival able to get the Lord in the hands of Indonesia. So it is risky, but again, Cambodia, even though they could not make that steal, this is going to be their own reset. They need it so that they can set things up for the defense.
We are undoubtedly seeing a match worthy of being grand finals material right now. Team Cambodia, their entire lead has been taken out. The goal difference now is minuscule. Mlbb has been able to complete a Wind of Nature. That's going to be a very important item for this Granger if she wants to continue playing aggressively, since it will buy her precious seconds against the dive of this Sun. But Indonesia has the Lord on their side. They've been split pushing the map the entire time, so there's only 2 external towers remaining. And it's already past the point where holy defense would still be an issue. Team Cambodia, their chance of turning this around is starting to slim due to how much scaling Indonesia has built into their draft.
Even then, Fumieko tried to step a little bit closer to Team Cambodia. It's not going to do much as they are pushing in. Fashion Pulse comes through, doesn't actually get anyone though, but in the end, this turret is going to be the opening, comes through. Monteshaku comes in, no one actually gets into it, so that's going to be Team Cambodia just setting things off for the Lord itself. Somehow, this is going to be easy for turret bottom to be shut down easily. All of the waves are being started out, but AOG doesn't catch anyone. So Team Cambodia so far, the only thing that they are mattering right now is just to defend, not to overextend.
Not a bad defense though. They do give up 1 inhibitor, but that is probably the best case scenario for Team Cambodia in this situation. We are 16 minutes in. This is around the time where I said Team Cambodia needed to try to end the game, because any longer than this and the scaling from Indonesia might become too difficult to handle since they have multiple late game core heroes. It is still possible, but all of it rides on Bao Bei. And unfortunately, 2 deaths in a row means that she's not going to have a lot of Sky Piercer stacks left over. She needs to build those back up to be the artillery threat that she was earlier in the game.
Let's see if Team Cambodia can guard out Bao Bei before being picked off by Team Indonesia. So far, when it comes to actually executing, Indonesia has been perfectly fighting. Even though with Tegami able to actually back things up with that double kill, it's still not going to be enough for Team Cambodia to catch up with Indonesia's gap, whereby they are already leading up and now trying to go in for a fight with the Fallen Star Moon, but somehow does not grab anyone in the midst. So far, Team Cambodia having a lot of structure, able to actually create some safe space between them.
I want to see some adjustment here from Team Cambodia, especially from Bao Bei. She has been able to use the early game snowball she has to go for very aggressive pickoffs, but she cannot afford to do that anymore. Even if you see a very juicy kill right in front of you, you need to second chance it. If you are in this Granger's position, you need to stay protected. It doesn't matter if you miss out on kills, you need to ensure you stay alive.
Oh, but Shell says, no, you're not going to be able to stay. Shell says, no, you're not going to be able to stay alive, but they do have the chance for UA to back things up. Shell still managed to survive it out, but no, goes away with the clone. That's how powerful it is, but that is going to be a zoning for them. Here, right here, Fivel able to take down Moshi. Tato right here at the moment right now, they are going in for a fight, but no, they are pushing into Cambodia just to shoo them away as they are going to focus for the Lord to be taken by Viva. In the moment right now, Fumieko try to actually scurry away to the side of Team Cambodia. Bao Bei barely scraping alive by UA. Immortality right in the hands, but they're not going to deny it because Vival will shut him down for good.
It's a 3v5 defense situation now. The Lord is still very far away, but Indonesia might just be able to muscle their way in. Bao Bei is the only one that's going to be able to do notable damage, but the minions are so tanky right now that it's even taking her a while to clear them up. Slowly but surely, the waves are sinking in, and Ue is not going to be available for this base defense.
Last turret for them to just bear open this space. And the side of Cine takes him down. Both go in for the waves of breaker. Tegami barely surviving, goes for the Imperial Wrap, but does manage to go for the defense wide. So Team Indonesia still had to move away, but Fivel takes down Moshi immediately. Lord coming in. It's a great defense mechanism come through for the side of Cambodia. They managed to actually shoo away the side of Indonesia, but is it going to be enough though? Fumieko, Trash and Pulse doesn't get anyone just yet. So far, Cambodia is desperate, but at least their desperation can still hold out the situation.
Really good composure there from Team Cambodia. Considering the odds, it would not have been difficult for Indonesia to just muscle their way in with that Lord. But since Bao Bei was able to keep herself alive, it meant that they couldn't just walk in without risking having themselves wiped off the map. Even without the Gatot Kacha in that fight, Cambodia keeps themselves in game number 1. But now their base is going to be empty, and the scaling is still ramping up for their opponent.
So far, we are seeing they have been taking care of Bao Bei, denying anyone from the team of Indonesia to steal her. And this is where the position that we are asking from them. But the thing is, not much of Bao Bei will be able to stack things up. Michelle, again, try to tease a little bit of Bao Bei. This is where the fine line, they just want to bait her out. And Team Indonesia knows that if only Cambodia eat up those bait, they might be able to set things good.
This is the part of the game now where it is very annoying to deal with this monkey. And Shell is well aware of it. She is constantly going to be a nuisance, poke clones out, get vision, find catches if necessary, and exert consistent macro pressure that is not going to allow Team Cambodia to group together. We can see that Elan is basically forced on housekeeping duty permanently now because Fumieko as well is going to be able to split push the map on the other side.
The fact that right now they are one man less when it comes to the team fight. They are required because 24 seconds, Lord is about to appear. And knowing for a fact that Indonesia, if they can actually get that Lord, it could be a closure already for the first round of the match.
This is a very difficult decision to make in the position of Team Cambodia. They need to basically send their entire team if they want to have a solid chance of contesting the Lord. But there is always the possibility of a backdoor, and Elan is not going to be able to defend against Shell or Fumieko by herself, which means you need at least 2 people staying in base, keeping the waves in check. But there is no way they can contest Lord with 3. So Cambodia might be forced to give this up.
But Wave Breaker as well as Tsunami Slam stealing away Moshi. Moshi barely surviving that, but at the same time, Tegami comes in for a fight. Doesn't manage to actually pull through with a Pistol Round. Now coming in with the Traction Pulse, moving straight forward to the side of Cambodia. They will be able to take down Baomei first of all. Now going in all out to Uwe. Uwe barely alive, will be shut down by Vivo. Now Tegami is going to be the next victim. Barely surviving with all the base attacks. Setting shuts them down for good. Elon, the housekeeper, will be also terminated. Rinpoche tries to survive it up, but no! Fumieko says no to you, and this is going to be an opening for them to get team wiped out in the hands of Team Indonesia. No! Moshi barely survived.